Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Heidi Cav, and this Valentine's season I have some very special guests. This is Nana, Sherry Ann Willis, and this is Papa, Carl Willis. Y'all say hello.
Hello everyone.
And I'm bringing them on because they are celebrating how many years of marriage?
In August of this year, it'll be 54 years.
Wow, 54 years of marriage. That is a lot.
It is.
So
it's been a long time, but actually it just seems like it started yesterday.
So tell me a little bit about how y'all met.
Kind of like a blind date, I guess you would say. I was working at a bank, and a friend of mine had told me about Carl and that he was new in town and that he was teaching school over at the high school. And
he was cute.
Yeah, he was cute. And so she was wondering if possibly we would like to maybe see each other, and luckily he came by the bank, and I was in a teller cage, and that's where I really first saw him and met him. And then a few days later we had our first blind date, and we went to Jackson to a ball game. And who was playing? Mississippi State and
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. And I later find out, well, he's graduated from Mississippi State just a few months ago. I didn't know if he wanted to see me or he wanted to see State play. But it turned out all right. Had a good time.
Well, what did you think so what was your perspective of that when you first saw Sherry Ann Landrum at the time?
Oh, well, I wasn't real sure. There was, 4 or 5 of y'all came running to the bank.
Okay.
And the whole bank emptied up back there. But,
oh, gracious.
But yeah, and then you came on back. I realized you were the one that was asking about heading for Jackson. So we went on, and and then later that week, I called you up.
I won't tell y'all what he said, and this is no lie. Now we knew that we was probably going to go on to the ball game, and he calls me. It was on a Thursday night, and I remember going to the phone, the landline phone at my mother and daddy's house, and answered the phone, and he says, is this Sherry Landrum? And I said, yes it is. He said, well, this is Carl Willis, and someone's told me you'd like to go out with me. Can you imagine?
Well,
he said, is that true? And I said, well, what could I say? But anyway.
Lost for words, I imagine.
So, how long did y'all continue dating after that? Was there a pause?
It was a few days pause there. And
were you freaking out?
I couldn't imagine why he was not asking me out. But anyway, he did. So maybe 10 or 12 days later. And
that's a long pause.
I know. I don't know what he was doing.
Well, nowadays it'd be the next day, I imagine, but we're talking about 50-something years ago.
Why did you wait?
What? Because that's the way things were done back then. Now people move along faster.
Okay. But anyway.
They say, I'll be by to pick you up in a minute.
We had this first date on October 31st, which was Halloween.
Wow.
And Halloween of 1964. Mm-hmm. We got engaged in March of 65 and got married in August.
How did you know that this was the person that you were going to marry?
Had no idea. We went out several times, a few months there, and fell in love, and here we are.
What did you think? Was that early for you, or did it just feel right?
I knew that he was special right off. You know, I mean, from the first time I ever looked at him, I knew he was special, and it just grew from there.
So, looking back 54 years ago to now, what was marriage like and your relationship like then, and how have you kept a healthy relationship for over 50 years?
Well, we do just about everything together.
And it is true. We've always, and more so in the last, say 20 years, we usually do most everything together.
And you never get tired of each other.
No, no.
Why not? Why not? You spend so much time together. That's a lot of time.
Because this is the man that God chose for me. But he's always treated me as though I was a queen. And it's just been special.
So this is Papa,
Hello.
Carl Willis, and he is the groom in my Nana and Papa duo. And you have been married for 54 years.
That's right, 54. And that's a pretty good little chunk out of my life.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is.
And, 'cause I think I was 25.
Wow.
And, so it's been a while. But we've had a good life, you know, and I'm hoping there'll be a few more years up there.
What is your favorite memory of you and Nana?
I would say probably in some of our travels.
What is something that Nana does that makes you feel loved?
She's just always there for anything that I need. She takes care of everything around the house and inside usually, and I take care of the yard, the outside, and we sort of work together, and everything's great.
Everything's great.
It's great. I told you, I said yes, ma'am, Laura.
What is something that you didn't know at 25, but you know now? About marriage, about women, any of it?
Well, you have to form a team,
Mm-hmm.
and this team is real important because if you're not working together like as a team, then as you move along, you'll drift apart.
Mm-hmm.
She knows things that she needs to do for me, and I know things that I need to do for her.
That's really sweet.
And say yes, ma'am.
What was your wedding day like?
It
long
was
as you know
very
the day.
hot.
Hot. Let's go to you're standing down by the altar, I'm assuming, right? Y'all got married at the church that she grew up in. What was your thoughts when she walked down the aisle?
You don't know what kind of thoughts to have, you know. Everything was rolling right along. You had people all over the place and getting all kind of advice and everything to go along with it.
But when it was just you looking at her, what was going through your mind, if you can remember?
Oh, that was good right there. Yeah. I looked and I said, yes, ma'am. But yeah, that worked out good. And then after we got I think the next week the people came, put air conditioner in, got everything else hooked up, and put a well down over there, and we were there for about 3.5 years, and then we built this house and moved over here.
Do you have anything that you would like to share about Nana? If you could describe Nana to somebody who didn't know her, what would you say?
She likes her church, goes to church a whole lot, she's honest, I'm taller than she is. I didn't say she's short, I'm tall. I've enjoyed being married to her for the last 54 years, and we're shooting for 54 more. Don't know where we make that or not, since we got 54 already, but we'll see.
This is Nana, Miss Sherry Ann Willis.
Hello.
Originally Sherry Ann Landrum. Talk to me about your wedding day.
It was hot in August. That day was a hot day, and it was a busy day, and trying to get dressed and family there and all, but it was a nice day. It really was.
What did you think when you were walking down the aisle?
Well, I was afraid my dad was gonna cry, but he didn't, and it was a touching time because I was close to my parents and my brothers, and But they knew I was going to be happy. From the day my parents met Carl, they fell in love with him. They just really did. So that made it good.
What is something funny that Papa does or says? Or something funny that he does? Or that you think is funny or makes you laugh, or how does he make you laugh?
Well, kind of taking care of his hair. He's very precise with his hair. As a matter of fact, we were in the doctor's office today, and the doctor came in, and Carl's sitting up there, and he said, "Mr. Willis, is there any way I could get hair like you?" And he just went on and on about it. He says, "It's always just perfect." So I explained to him that I cut his hair all the time. And he said, "A beautician?" I said, No, I never cut hair until I went to cutting Carl's hair and all. But anyway, Carl is very funny about his hair, and I laugh at him all the time. I said, "Just comb it out," but he don't do that. He goes to all the process of fixing his hair. Always has.
What is something nice that Papa does for you that makes you feel loved?
He cares about everything that he thinks I want. Starting from in the morning, he'll say, "Now you ready to have your coffee? You want me to fix your coffee? What all you want in your coffee?" He puts me first in everything we do. And I guess that's very important to me.
That's very hard to come by. And I know a lot of girls that are watching this might be struggling with a toxic relationship where they feel that being treated kind of not all the way up, the bar set pretty low, but they're scared that they won't find anybody else. What would you say to them?
I would say if you're thinking that it's time you want to be looking for someone that you think you might marry, do not settle for anything but the guy that treats you better than he treats himself.
Well, do you have anything to say to everyone celebrating Valentine's this week?
Enjoy every minute of every day, even Valentine's Day. Love the person in your life and continue to look for that person if he's not the right one.
Wrapping up our discussion, if you were talking to 20-somethings who are just started out dating or newly married, what would you tell them?
I say try to be honest and just be yourself.
I would say that know that you love this person. You have to be in love with this person. You have to know that you want to spend the rest of your life with this person. And whenever we were getting married, people didn't think about divorce. Mm-hmm. My family never had divorces in it, and I don't think Carl's really did. We never thought that there would, if this don't work, we can just divorce. That's not what we ever looked at. We never thought of that. Never in our married life. At least I didn't. I guess you did. And so that was never an option. You made it work. They say if a man treats his mother well, he's going to treat his wife well. Mm-hmm. Well, I never seen anybody have more respect for someone than he had for his mother. And it was just obvious that you stayed married. You worked through whatever was wrong, but we didn't ever seem to have many problems, and we're very thankful for that.
Do y'all continue to pursue each other? When I mean, you talked about spending time together. Do y'all take time to ever get dressed up or go out to eat or go on a date or go on a trip? Y'all have seen a lot of the world together.
We go out to eat a lot.
Almost every day, to be exact. But sometimes whenever he lays down in the bed at night, he'll say, "Well, what we going to do tomorrow?" And there's always something for us to do, and naturally it's bad, but we kind of center things around where we're going to eat first. So I guess we just know that we're going to be together.
If you have any last words to tell the audience and the listeners who probably, there's a lot of people who haven't met the right person yet. And and who might be about to, or who just have, what would you tell them?
I say this day and time, you probably need to do a little side research and give it a little bit of time. Don't just rush right in.
There are so many divorces today that the younger generation thinks, well, if it doesn't work, we get a divorce. That's not what God intended. You marry the right person, you seek the right person, you seek His will, and it will work if you put all of your effort in it. And it's wonderful. It's been a great journey.
Well, thank y'all so much for talking with me and letting me share this with our audience and followers. If you would like to see more, go over to my Instagram and follow at Heidi Cav. While you're on here, please subscribe to my channel. Click the little subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.